Anyone who stops learning is old, be it 80 or 20. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. And that's the beauty, which is to keep your mind young. And this is a quote from the famous Henry Ford. So that kind of summarizes how important it is to learn every single day. Having said that, we are all learning, we are all writing, reading, but the ultimate goal is to expand your knowledge. To do that properly, let's understand what are 5 successful things or what are 5 daily habits that every successful learner usually follows. So without any further ado, let's get into the topic. Hello everyone, this is Kapil Reddy, founder and CEO of Superly. Today we're going to talk about the topic 5 daily habits that anybody can start practicing and that can actually help you become successful learners. So learning is just one step in your quest to knowledge. So let's do it the right way. So here are 5 topics or 5 daily habits which I'm going to talk about, and you can see the timestamp of each of it in the description below. The first one is, first and foremost, flow state. Anything you want to learn starts with curiosity, right? You keep hearing about a particular topic, so now you're curious about it. Like, why is it everyone talking about it? It can be any reason as to why you want to learn something. But to actually learn, to actually immerse yourself into learning, to actually make sense of learning, you got to have a flow state. By flow state, I mean you should be fully focused. Like when you're in a flow state, you're just not distracted by anything. You're just like completely focused on it. Imagine, let's say you watch a movie on the first day. So you're in a flow state where you're just like focusing on the movie. You just don't want to be distracted. You don't want to attend your phone calls, or you don't want to see your notifications, because you're just so interested in a particular movie. Or let's say if you're watching an F1 race or even a cricket match, whatever it is, you're in a flow state because you have your absolute attention. And especially if it's a nail-biting race or a nail-biting over, obviously your entire focus is on it. And the moment somebody disturbs, you get very frustrated. So that's exactly what is a flow state. In order to learn something, as I told, there is a lot of noise out there. For you to separate signal from noise, you got to be in flow state. At least in the beginning of learning a topic, before you actually frame something in your mind, you have to be in your flow state. So that flow state can only happen if you're away from distractions, and if you're not context switching, if you're just focused on one particular thing. So that's something you got to figure out, like, as to how you can do. Obviously, Superly definitely helps you with that, because the whole idea of Superly is to bring you into a learning zone, a place where you can actually come and learn something without any distractions. You want to learn a new topic, it starts with the research. So without context switching, using our Chrome extension, you can actually gather all the resources and pull them all into your learning space. So that's how simple it can be. But once you get into a flow state, trust me, the way you learn will be completely different. And that's exactly what you should aim for. So that's the first habit you got to probably develop. Depending on your use case, probably just start doing it on a daily basis. Second thing is, which is something probably you would have heard several times now, please have a daily routine. Reason why people keep repeating these things is, if you have a routine, you have just one less thing to worry about. You're not worried, like everything starts in a very structured manner. Everything is planned for you. Because of this, you can actually focus on things which actually matter to you rather than focusing on things which doesn't matter to you. For example, I'll tell you, let's say you have a habit of waking up at 5 o'clock. So ideally your day starts at 5 o'clock and you have your entire schedule planned accordingly. But imagine if there is no routine for you. Let's say one day you wake up at 7 o'clock, one day you wake up at 9 o'clock. So everything looks like chaotic. You already are like running behind your day, which is not ideal scenario for you. And over a period you get frustrated. You'll feel very depressed with your daily life. And that's something you cannot afford to have. So you always have to look forward to the day. For that to happen, you got to have daily routines. Again, routines are not just about your sleeping time or eating time. Don't just get overwhelmed by your routines or anything where you have to pinpoint minutely or to the minute. That's not the case here. All you got to do is just make sure to stick to a routine which actually matters to you. Try to follow that routine diligently. Don't try to get 100% accurate on day one itself. Just try to become 50% better, 80%, 90%. Eventually, once you start building a routine, you will feel a lot more confident, a lot more energetic, and you're much more enthusiastic to face the day every single day. And that's the beauty of having a daily routine. As I told, again, you don't have to copy somebody. As I told, I know a lot of people who work late in the night and they're happy waking up late in the morning. So whatever routine works for you. As I told, there's no one size that fits all. Everybody is different. We have our own unique perspectives. So try to first map a routine that suits your personality. and try to stick to it. The idea here is for you to stick to it. So make sure you have that routine and try sticking to it. Third important thing. This is again, I think you would have heard several times. It's like they always keep saying, right? Show me your friends and I'll show you your greatness. Network decides your net worth. So these are all some cliche terms which a lot of people use, and there's a reason behind it. Also, here is one more thing, right? Like they keep saying you're a sum of 5 people you're surrounded with. And there's a reason for it, right? See, for example, let's say if you're only surrounded with people with little ambitions. Again, ambitions can completely vary. I'm not saying everybody should have great ambitions. As long as you're content and happy with whatever you have, completely fine. But if you really want to achieve something, for example, you want to crack GRE exam, or if you want to crack civils exam, or if you want to go and work, study in an elite university like let's say Harvard, Stanford. So ideally, you've got to surround yourself with people with similar ambitions. If you are like surrounded with people who are happy with whatever they have and they're content with whatever they have, it doesn't help you. Again, there's nothing personal there. It's just like you have your ambition, so you just want to go achieve it. The only way to achieve it is surround yourself with the right people. Imagine, like, let's say you identified 5 people who have ambitions to get into Harvard. Most of your conversations will be around how do you get into Harvard. There won't be any distractions, or there's just no loose talk. And that is something that can be super helpful and very effective. And I'm pretty sure you would have experienced it already. So if you haven't, just try and do it. Surround yourself with people with similar ambitions that can actually pull you, push you, and expand your limits beyond your potential. Let's say you want to learn about Web3, but if you're surrounded with a bunch of marketers, probably that's not the right thing to do. Or let's say you want to get really good in marketing, and if you're only surrounded by Web3 people, I don't think you'll get anything out of it. That is the reason why you have to surround yourself with like-minded people who have a similar ambitions like the ones you have. So that is very important, and that can be super effective, and you'll start enjoying the process of learning if you're surrounded by like-minded people. Fourth, again, probably this is also something you would have already heard, which is the power of compounding. Get 1% better every day so that the compounding effect can be much, much higher, and it is beyond your imagination. See, anything and everything starts with day one, right? But the consistent effort is something which separates successful people from unsuccessful people. So for that to happen, even for you, let's say you want to learn something completely different, or let's say you want to change your career path. So let's say you've been in marketing for 10 years, but now you want to switch to, let's say you want to become a developer, for example. So just don't get overwhelmed with, okay, how do I transition all of a sudden? Just start doing it, spend some time. Let's say dedicate 1 hour daily for learning development. And from there, make sure you're getting 1% better every single day. In this way, over a period, let's say after 6 months or 1 year, you can see a phenomenal change, and probably you can become quite successful or hands-on when it comes to development as well. And that is something only you can experience, but all you got to do is make sure you diligently follow this and understand the power of compounding. Do not neglect the power of compounding. There are number of articles, number of videos around the power of compounding. Please do yourself a favor by just going and watching 1 or 2 videos or 1 or 2 articles. That will give you a strong perspective on why the power of compounding is important. Likewise, when it comes to learning, you cannot learn all at once. That's not sustainable. Of course, probably you would have done it in college, and there is a reason for it, right? Because you're probably not interested in a subject and you just want to learn it for the sake of your exam. Can you recall any of the information that you read for that exam? But probably you would have received like a high grade in that particular subject. But that's not useful at all. That's a passive knowledge which is of no use to anybody. So my point is, even when it comes to learning, make sure you are sticking to a habit of everyday learning so that eventually that compounding effect can be much powerful. Likewise, Zooperly will definitely help you with that, because that is one of our promise, which is to get you into habit of everyday learning. Because all we are trying to do is we want you to finish more learnings. So my point is, rather than like, we all have this habit, right? You get curious about something, you start off something, but you leave it midway. Like you pick a book, you don't finish it. You enroll a course, you don't finish it. You start a topic, you don't finish it. Zooperly helps you with finishing your learnings. We'll help you get into a habit of everyday learning. And the compounding effect is something which will be super powerful, and that can help you expand your knowledge, and you can have knowledge as your superpower. So coming to the final habit and the fifth habit, again, something which a lot of people neglect, unfortunately, but something which can be very effective is have a clear goal. Be super sure about what exactly you want to do. Let's say you want to learn about something, be very clear about it. Then there is a purpose behind it. Just because everybody are talking about Web3, just don't go over it. Just question yourself, why am I learning? Is it like maybe out of curiosity, okay, good. Or let's say, do I want to make a career out of it? Or maybe do I want to start my own company in Web3? Whatever can be the purpose, but be clear about it. And once you're clear about your goal, that can actually help you multifold. And I'll tell you a small example. I did my MBA in UK. The reason why I went to UK was I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And UK government, they grant a student entrepreneur visa for graduates who are graduating in UK. So I had that singular goal that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And that's the only reason why I went to UK. So because my goal was super clear, I started attending all sorts of startup events, community events, and like wherever there was a startup event, I used to be there. So in this way, I made a lot of connections that I could understand the ecosystem of entrepreneurship in UK. And guess what? Obviously, I was awarded the student entrepreneur visa and I launched my own company called Uni Elephant. That was my previous venture. And that's the power of having a clear goal. At the same time, I could see a lot of my peers and colleagues who were not very clear about what they wanted to. So they just ended up going to several different places, but the effort was not very useful. So that is the reason why you should be very clear about what exactly you want. As I told, let's say, for example, you want to crack GRE or you want to score 720 plus in GMAT. There's a reason for it. Maybe the goal for you is to get into one of the Ivy League colleges. And to higher your chances, you need to get more than 720 plus. Now that you're clear about your goal, you'll put a lot more efforts in making sure you're actually getting that 720 plus. So that is the power of being very clear about what exactly you want. Or let's say if you just want to crack the exam, you want to just get 600 plus, maybe you can put your efforts according to that particular goal you have. So like that, make sure you're clear about what you want to do. And this is the only way you can learn more effectively, or else everything will just be passive learning. We try to do things which are easy for us. Like let's say you read an article, it's easy, but what are you doing after it? Are you able to recall the information? No, everything is just gone. Because science proves that you forget 70% of information within a day and 90% of it within a week. So, but you just feel that you read something, but it's of no use at all. As I told, if you're trying to do things randomly, they're easy to do, but they're not effective. They're not going to add any value to your ever-growing knowledge. For that reason, make sure you stick to certain things and try to follow these 5 simple habits on a daily basis and see the difference for yourself. There is a belief that if you try to do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit for you for a long time. So try doing it. Let's say for all these 5 habits, whatever I mentioned, whenever you try to learn something from here on, just try doing these 5 things and see a significant spike in your curiosity, in your enthusiasm, and most importantly, in your knowledge. The kind of knowledge you gain is something you'll feel very happy about. Having said that, as I told, if you really want to do this in a very effective way, try out Zooperly today, get on our VIP access, and we will ensure to onboard you very soon. There are multiple apps doing multiple things, but Zooperly is the only app which will help you to get into your learning zone, and it's a learning centric platform. By that I mean, our entire focus is for you to learn more effectively, and we want you to get into a habit of everyday learning. So here are 3 things which we promise. We are giving you an all-in-one learning space where you can get all your learning done in one place. Second is, we'll pull you back into your learnings so that you can actually complete the learnings that you have created. Third is, we'll get you into a habit of everyday learning so that the compounding effect is very powerful. So these are simple 3 promises we are making. So if you're curious as to how exactly you can do it, please do sign up today and experience the magic for yourself. And the best part is, to whomsoever who are trying right now, we have been getting some incredible feedback. And that's something which is getting the entire team very excited about. So that's it for today. So please do like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, comment on your thoughts. As I told, if you want us to cover any other topics, please do comment on it. And we'll be more than happy to pick those topics and present it to you. And until then, I hope you all have a good weekend, have a good week ahead. I'll see you next time. Signing off. Bye-bye.